Yellow YouTube, this is Septimus again, coming at you with another Destiny video. Now in this video, I'll be discussing more features coming with the Taken King. Now in this, it's going to be in more detail for those who didn't watch the live stream Bungie went through with the tour of the tower. There's going to be a lot of new things being added to the tower. So, first thing we're gonna go through here is the long-awaited topic in the live stream. That is vault space. Okay, so they're pretty much doubling vault space up to 72. So, because a lot of people complain that we didn't have much vault space, and I'll admit we didn't, but as you see, I don't have anything in here. So, vault space is doubled to 72. Now, something that didn't get much love since the beginning of Destiny, that is the gunsmith. Now, the gunsmith, upon when you come in during year 2, you'll notice you'll actually right here have a rep meter. Now, how you get reputation for the gunsmith is in this section right here that normally has, you know, synthesis, elementaries, you know, stuff, shit like that. He'll have field test weapons. These field test weapons, if you've ever played Borderlands, sort of resemble mission weapons. They're weapons you use out in the battlefield, but eventually give back. And this, you'll have to kill a certain amount of enemies. Basically, just go kill enemies, and you will eventually be able to turn in that field test weapon. And down here, if I'm not mistaken, there will be, I don't know, they were some type of order thing. That would be where one of the Bungie workers got a legendary Suros scout rifle from one of them. They're almost like they're earned through getting rep for the gunsmith. They're sort of like faction packages. They function just the same way. So that's for the gunsmiths. Now on the Hall of Guardians, there is a few things that they discussed in here.
Let's get you ready.
So, let's talk to shacks. Now, as we all know, there's not much stuff. There's not a big selection of stuff for shacks, but that'll change with this. Shacks will be the one that sells not only weapons, but ghosts. Yes, he is one of the few vendors that will sell ghosts. But primarily, keep in mind that ghosts their functionality is more for a crucible. So there was 3 ghosts he was selling. One was focused on killing titans, the other was focused on killing hunters, and yes, you guessed it, the other one was based on killing warlocks. And he also sells multiple different types of weapons. The crucible gear sort of gets a new finish. It's more of a, as you see here, dark blue and bright lime green.
You know where to find.
So now that that's covered, there's something else we actually want to cover that I can just cover right here.
Is what I got.
As everyone knows, for factions we have Crucible marks and Vanguard marks. These are what buy you Crucible gear and Vanguard gear. These will be completely replaced. What they'll be replaced with, they're called legendary marks. They are used to buy pretty much anything in the tower. Glimmer seems to not really be worth anything, but I may be incorrect on that. But what I do know is legendary marks you can use at the Crucible, you can use at the Vanguard, and even the Cryptarch, which I'll get onto in a second. Now, something interesting. Both the Crucible and the Vanguard will have quests for you. So for me, being I am loyal to the Hunter Vanguard, Cage 6 will not only be selling, you know, different legendary gear, also a new addition to the Vanguard and Crucible is there. If I'm not mistaken, once you reach a high enough level with them, they will send you on quests. Now these quests will not only boost, well, that's pretty much all they do from what I know, is they boost your rep with the faction a lot more than what bounties will do. So both the Crucible and Vanguard do that, as well as all the factions. Now we're going to go to the Cryptarch. This is sort of a simple topic to cover. The Cryptarch will be selling something a little bit different. By that I mean he will not be selling any white rarity or green rarity. So he practically won't be as useless as he used to be. He will be selling guaranteed legendary engrams, such as legendary body armor, legendary gauntlets, legendary helmets. He'll have, from what I saw, he had also legendary special weapon, legendary primary, etc. So he will be selling a lot more useful stuff, and you will not get, you don't have a chance of getting shards from this, which is also a good thing to hear. Now, something else we'll that another topic we'll cover is the speaker. The speaker, well, the only importance that I recognized in that was he also sells ghosts. And it seems that these ghosts are more concentrated on PvE from what I saw. I didn't get to see the exact benefits that they give you, but what I do know is that he will sell ghosts. Now, what you'll see is you will see, you know, the usual side of material exchange. The emblems will actually be eliminated. Now he'll also be selling this. He'll also be selling what says armor, but it's really just class items. So that is pretty cool. So now going on to the emblems. The emblems, which to me don't have much significance, but it's nice to have something that they know you by, will be sold where the special order station is, but I don't believe it will be, obviously it won't look like this, but it'll have a complete list of all different types of emblems, such as emblems from the Taken King, from the House of Wolves, and from the Dark Below. So there will be specific emblems that you have to do specific tasks for, which I find pretty interesting. Also, you have all these emblems at your disposal, so you really know what you'd want to work for. Because now, in the end of year 1, you don't know specifically like what other emblems there are. But so something I didn't cover as well in my first video before this is exotic blueprints. Exotic blueprints, this live stream Bungie did covered it a little bit more. There'll be 2 terminals on these walls. One will be right here and one will be over here where this useless bot is. So here will be the exotic armor blueprints. Exotic armor blueprints are purchased with what do you call it? Legendary marks. And over here will be the exotic weapon blueprints. Exotic weapon blueprints and exotic armor blueprints work similar, but I do know the exotic weapon blueprints are a little bit easier to get, just as long as you have exotic shards and a couple other things. I believe it was Glimmer and something else. But the armor, you have to have legendary marks for. So for over here, which is the legendary or exotic, my bad, the exotic weapons blueprints, here just as long as you had them before or found them in year 1, such as my trusty Meta multi-tool or my also just as trusty Suros regime. These are year 1 weapons. These will be upgraded, especially more recognizable the Suros regime. Aside from a new paint scheme, which this white will turn into black, it will also be tweaked a bit, a little bit higher damaging, and Suros regime or Suros weapons will have specific perks different to any of those of other weapons. And then there's year 2 weapons, which, if I'm not mistaken, you do have to find out on the battlefield. So just as long as you have the materials and you have found it, you can decrypt them. So pretty much a lot of exotics aren't going to be very useful, the year 1 ones, but they are, you know, they hit just as hard, and your year 1 armor will also protect you just as much as all the other ones. Now, that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I thank you for watching, and I hope this video shed some light on the tower. Thank you, and make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Take care, YouTube.